Hey, what's up guys, Angelson here, and this is a replay commentary on Foothills. My opponent is the Luke, and he had a pretty interesting army composition for this fight, nothing that I'm usually used to fighting. And for this battle I mixed it up a little bit. I went with bowcav again, 3 bowcav with 2 Yari-cav supporting them, and as well I also have 2 Great Guards. But I also brought ninjas for this fight, which you can see over here. Now I placed these ninjas over here because I was fully expecting my opponent to advance from his starting position up to this hill and try to get some type of elevation advantage, which a lot of opponents do on this map. But I see instantly he has 4 units of matchlocks, and people with heavy matchlocks in their armies usually tend to be aggressive players. And on top of that, well, 3 of these are matchlock samurai. One's a matchlock warrior monk, but he also has, 6 units of bow samurai. So that's a heavy ranged army. And supporting them, he has 6 units of Naginata samurai, which, even though they're vanilla, they have high armor value and they are really good defensive units. They take quite a bit to burn down. So I knew right away I'd have to readjust my strategy. And if you look at my army, I have 2 units of Great Guard hidden in this forest. I have 1 unit of Bow Warrior Monks, 1 unit of Matchlock Ashigaru, and I don't think these are vetted. 2 units of Yari Ashigaru, 2 units of Katana Samurai, and 2 units of Vanilla Nodachis. And over here you can see my 3 bowcav, only one's a veteran unit, and it's the only one I really have space for, and 2 units of Yari cav. So I realized right at the start of this battle, 1, I'm severely outnumbered, so I really got to rethink my strategy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these bowcav with these Yari cav up right away, see if I can, do some damage on his matchlocks and whatnot. Bowcav are really decent unit for fighting matchlocks, but in a stand-up fight with these 6 bow samurai, they really wouldn't stand a chance. So you've got to be really effective at attacking, pulling back, attacking, pulling back. It takes a lot of micromanagement to fight this many ranged units with bowcav. And over here you can see I have my ninja advancing to this forest. I was hoping to at least get a surprise attack on his general. Originally what I was hoping was that he would come up this hill and I'd be able to use my ninja to do a surprise attack and really mess up his formation while I advance the rest of my troops. And here I actually brought my Yari-cav forward because he had his bows so far pushed up. But he was smart, he pulled forward his Naginata Sam, so my cav really wouldn't be effective there. And now I'm just bringing in my bowcav. I don't really have target selected with these bowcav because I really can't advance too close. So you can see all of these range units, they start firing fairly quickly. So, against this kind of army, you gotta pull your bowcav in, do a little, shoot a couple arrows, pull them out, and really now it's just become a towing force. They aren't, effectively going to be able to skirmish with this army, but I can effectively distract him. And here you can see I put my ninjas actually in stealth, and now I'm doing a rapid advance to try and get a cheap shot in on his general. Go ahead and do a close up and actually come out of hiding, but he doesn't notice until the first set of grenades actually hits his general. They actually get in a pretty decent volley. Took him from 36 to 27 units, so it took off 9 units. But they couldn't get off that second batch of arrows, or second batch of grenades fast enough. You see they actually drop a couple right here. So I try to throw these guys in melee last minute and do as much damage on his general as I can, which unfortunately is not going to be too much. I don't know, ninjas are more of a shock factor, which they're able to do pretty well. Got him down to 23 out of 36 units, and he is a melee general. Now I notice his bows are pushed up pretty far again, so I decided to go ahead and do a charge with my Yari cav. And I managed to get this unit maneuvered around and hit his matchlocks as well. But, you know, at this stage in the battle, there are just so many there that I really can't effectively, you know, damage his units. Right now, it's just more of a distraction, and these Yari-Cav are not going to last long fighting against this melee general. But I do manage to get these bowcav pushed back up again and really let them get some effective fire down on his units. And you see I'm maneuvering the rest of my army around as well. And I still have these 2 units of Great Guard hidden also. But he catches on to what I'm doing, starts shooting at my bowcav again, and I have to pull them back out. Right now they're just really just distracting him and splitting up his forces, not allowing him to concentrate them in one place for too long. And you know, I noticed from a lot of my fights, I tend to ignore bowcav because my opponents never really bring more than 1 or 2. And you know, when you're facing 1, it's not really that big of a threat. But I've noticed, you know, 3 are a lot better than 1 or 2. I'd actually like to try to, you know, do a fight with 4 of them, but you know, at that point I'm gonna have to compromise and bring less, you know, Yari-Cav or Great Guard to the fight. And when these guys are unprotected, they really aren't that effective. So I see him advancing again, and I decide, you know, it's a bad idea to, you know, try to meet him down this hill. The best I can do is pull up here and try to make some type of defensive stance. And I see he's got these bows exposed once again, so I decide to take this unit and put it in melee and really just try to get a shot in on his bows, get a good charge in, which I'm able to do. Look at these guys flying, that's pretty funny. But once again, these are bow sams, so you know, they actually are pretty tough in melee. No, look at all those arrows just pelting my guys. I took these other 2 units and tried to hit some of his matchlocks, but you know, once again, matchlock samurai, pretty tough unit. Bowcav are not really going to get in many shots. They still have quite a few units, you can see. And here I managed to push my bow warrior monks up. Really, I'm just trying to take out his matchlocks now. Look at these high arcing arrows. They really aren't even effectively doing too much damage. But that volley went completely in front of this unit. That's ridiculous. Look at that. So once he exposes these matchlocks, I decided to bring one of my units of Great Guard out to hit his matchlocks. And I'm just going to push them right through and try to hit the other unit as well. I'm not going to stop at that one unit because as soon as these guys stop, they're going to start shooting at my Great Guard. And I still have this other unit hidden as well. But once these guys start to get situated, I pull my Great Guard back and pull them down into this forest down here. Try to take him, you know, away from focusing on my army while I still have this other unit hidden. And you can see my bowcav are back here too, just pestering his units and shooting them up. Alright, so once I feel like these guys are properly exposed, I'm going to bring my other unit of Great Guard in to get another charge in on his matchlocks. Matchlocks are probably my biggest threat right now. So you can see all 3 of these units are exposed. So I bring this one back down for a charge and get this one on a decent flanking charge as well. And with that cav micro, you know, once he pulls those spears out, you gotta, you know, be quick and pull your Great Guards back again. So here you can see I actually threw my general in last stand. And if I had pushed up, I don't know, maybe 20 feet closer, it wouldn't have been a bad position to fight from. But you can see from here, my matchlocks really have no clear visual on any enemy units. It's actually a really bad position for my army. You know, that's something you got to check on too. I know it's hard in the heat of battle to, you know, check your fields of fire, but you really need to get into practicing, you know, when to set up your army to check their fields of fire and make sure they have a good visual on their threat. Alright, so I see all these bows exposed, and I decide to throw my bowcav in melee and try and hit these bows. He's going to respond with his melee general. At this point I figure, you know, it's too late to pull these guys out, so I'm just going to leave them here to distract his general, and try to do as much damage on his range unit as possible. And you can see his response is, instead of trying to fight my army, he's turned all of his bow units around, just trying to shoot these bowcav. So now we're actually engaging in the melee. Got my Nodachis and Bonsai, and they are closing with his lines now. And luckily he had these matchlocks right out front, so it was easy for me just to engage them. And you can see how tired his units are all as well, just from moving around the map. They're very fatigued and they really don't stand a chance against mine. And I noticed him pull his general out, so I decided to take my Great Guard back out to attack his general. And you can see I also have my bow warrior monks shooting his general as well. And that kills off his general, so now, it's pretty much chain route after that. All of his units are fairly fatigued, they're in the open, and they really don't stand a chance. Check out this charge right here with my Great Guard. Bam. Some of these units just go flying, that's hilarious. I love watching those close-up charges, but that's pretty much the battle. My opponent definitely had a interesting composition. He just got mixed up with my bowcav and really spread out his forces. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time.